Thank you, Mr. Bansal. Respected Chief Guest, Sri Narendra Singh Tomarji, Honorable Union Minister of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Rural Development and Panchayat Raj, Mr. Ajay Piramal, Chairman Piramal Group, Mr. Bansal, Chairman NDIM, Member of the Board of Directors, faculty and staff of New Delhi Institute of Management, and above all, the distinguished graduating class of 2020 and their family members. It is my pleasure to be amongst you, though virtually, and chair the 22nd convocation ceremony of NDIM. This convocation ceremony is as significant for the institute as it is for the 480 of you in the graduating class. And I was very happy to note the gender diversity that NDIM has. I'm told that the ratio is almost 1-to-1, and this is something many others will want to emulate. In fact, I noticed that 11 of the 12 medal winners were women. I also noticed that the companies that your graduating class is going to work for are all tier 1 marquee companies, and clearly NDIM is creating a path for you. I'm also happy to note that the intensity of the engagement that NDIM has with the industry, this will go a long way in building your careers and not only aid India's progress, but that of the world at large. And for me personally, it is always an enriching experience to engage with aspiring managers and visionaries of future India. But today, unfortunately, we'll have to limit to a web-enabled engagement. The situation requires us to be in safety of our homes. The world, perhaps mankind, is going through a very challenging phase. Unprecedented crisis, COVID-19, health crisis, and economic crisis. The narrative has changed in the last 3 months. World is upside down. Optimism has become despair. Health and safety is the primary concern. Huge economic impact. Going into financial year 21, we are staring at a negative GDP for India, first time in over 40 years, and an uncertain future. The past few months have taught us a lot. It has made the average citizen rethink, business rethink, and governments rethink. And I'm sure none of you would have imagined that your convocation would be held virtually with all sitting at home. Many of you will be wondering, where does this end? But I would want to share a slightly different perspective. The situation has undoubtedly thrown up the greatest ever challenges to all industry verticals. But it may also be an opportunity for every business to redefine itself, redefine the success mantra, and redefine how we work. There are businesses that will emerge stronger out of this crisis, and there are businesses that would perish. For example, India lockdown, resulting in complete stoppage of economy, has pushed the boundaries of e-commerce and hyperlocal home deliveries to find efficiencies in adapting to the health risk, yet keeping the basic economy functioning. Take manufacturing sector as an example. Large MSMEs and unorganized sector. Major constraints on working capital. How do we reboot? Many enterprises may not be able to reboot. How do we look at innovative, low-cost financing? In the mid to long term, how do we transform manufacturing to be globally competitive? How can we look at achieving scale? How do we upgrade technology? How do we build brand globally? There is a loss of livelihood, labor migration. Is it an opportunity to probably accelerate appropriate reskilling? This is an opportunity to redefine the way we urbanize, relook at the affordable housing sector, basic quality of living and infra, healthcare. How can we make our societies more resilient? Agriculture is a very crucial sector to our economy, as Mr. Bansal said earlier. How do we reform agriculture with the learning of the COVID-19? Honorable Minister Tomarji is already pushing multiple reforms. Digital technologies and drones are making inroads into smart farming solutions. We will need innovative business models to make high-end technologies accessible to small landholding farmers. In fact, every sector of the economy will require to be rebooted, and this will require some very innovative thinking and approaches of scientific management. And as you move forward, the young graduating class, as future business leaders, you have to think of how sustainability can be at the core of every business decision. You should not forget the 3 Ps, the people, the planet, and the profit. Today, health risk, Tomorrow, it could be climate risk. How do we increase resilience towards those risks as we know of? We need to put people at the core, get into the customer's shoes. You would have learned all that in marketing, but it will take a different connotation in the post-COVID era. How will demand behave? Will customers' preference change? How will it impact our business? Will we change the way we work? How can emerging technologies be leveraged to ease out operations? How will the value chain get re-impacted? If I were to draw a parallel, think of this as similar to 1991 globalization and liberalization era of India. It was a transformational time for the country. The next 3 to 5 years will be something similar to the modern context of geopolitics and new economy, where the world order is changing and global value chains are getting redefined. What you do now will define the next 30 to 40 years. Let me share some of my own experiences of managing slowdowns and crises that I have faced in my 40-year career with the auto industry. Seen several slowdowns in my career, of course, nothing like the present. What are the learnings? I think the most important thing during any slowdown and lockdown, and this is something that you should always take with you, is to manage the present without mortgaging the future. To manage the present, you have to manage cost, you have to conserve cash, but you have to prepare to sprint when the growth returns, and it always does. You have to make systematic changes for the long term. You should not cut down investment for the future. The leadership has to build teams, has to motivate. This is very important at the time of crisis. The change management has to be taken up very properly. Time to build relationship with customers, with employees, with dealers, with society at large, and no compromise at all with the core values of the company. The government of India today has a very strong focus on us becoming Atmanirbhar. But what does it really mean? It's not about looking inwards. It's leveraging our own strengths and global expertise together to create India into a source of distinct value add and globally competitive. As we speak, Government of India is working on multiple steps to strengthen Indian economy. I'm sure Mr. Tomar will talk more about that. We have an ambition to be a $5 trillion economy by 2025. Of course, because of COVID-19, this may get delayed by a couple of years, but it's okay. Fact is, we will be a fast-growing economy. Without a doubt, India has opportunities like never before. So friends, my submission is, if you love challenge, this is a time to be on the ground. If you believe that resilience is the strength in your character, this is the time to demonstrate. You will be starting your career at a time when every organization will be open to adopt change. And you can bring a fresh, innovative idea that others may be too close with today to notice. In an ironic way, COVID-19 gives you an opportunity to make a difference to your organization from day one. So my young friends, choose to uphold the NDIM legacy. Choose to make India shine. Pursue a destiny that will change the world. After all, to reach where no one has been before, you have to do what no one has done before. Hence, be careful, but be fearless. Again, congratulations to all of you on this very special day and wish you all the success in life. Stay safe. God bless.